Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. In today's video, hopefully we'll be changing the cam and hopefully getting the supercharger off. So I hope everyone's well and enjoyed the first video. As I said, today we're going to be hopefully getting the supercharger off and getting the cam changed. I've got the timing chain tool now, which is what I was ordering last week, so that's came. I found my 16mm spanner finally, which was what was stopping me getting the supercharger off. So hopefully those two together should see both of them ticked off today. But before we get into the video, make sure you hit the subscribe button so you can stay up to date with when I upload some more videos in this series. The reception on the first video was really great, so thank you. And as always, you can grab a Grinding Gears sticker from my website, www.grindinggears.uk, which helps support the channel, and they look pretty cool. So let's get cracking. So we're going to take that one bolt out, which was the one that I couldn't get out because I didn't have the 16 spanner. There's not a lot of room to get a socket in there. There we go. Now this bolt is actually what holds the belt tensioner into the supercharger. So I think that's the last piece of the puzzle. I hope it's the last piece of the puzzle. As you could probably guess, I've never taken a supercharger off this car before, or off a car before. So I'm not entirely 1000% sure, but it looks like it. So that's that off. So I guess it's a case of just separating the charger now. So there's like a little dowel here, which I've just tapped out with a rubber mallet on the top of the horn. And I think that's pretty much going to be the case all the way along. Just going to have a look for a few more of them. So the majority of the supercharger comes off with a bit of force and a bit of love from a rubber mallet. Now there is two bolts down here which need to be taken off to get the rest of the charger off. I couldn't see them at first, but there they are now, so I'm going to take them off. They look like 10 mils, so take them off and then the rest of the charger should come off. So this bolt here bolts directly into the engine block, so I've just been really careful with it, sprayed it with WD and just loosened it off really carefully because I do not want to snap that bolt.
It was at this moment he knew. He fucked up.
Oh no, there's coolant still in it. Well, there was. And there we have it. Supercharger off. We're going to take the pulley off at some point, service it, and whack it back on. And there we have it. We now have a naturally aspirated Mini R53. So I took the supercharger off finally. I'm happy with that. I feel like I've done something productive today. We've only been out here 5 minutes, so I'm going to keep these bolts safe. I'm going to just bolt them back in. And there we have it. Let's do the cam. This is the timing chain kit that I was waiting for in the last video. So I'm going to show you how to use it now. I'm going to get the cam swapped out. Okay, so I'm going to take the rocker cover off it again. And now obviously the cylinder head's exposed, so you want to be mindful and make sure no crap gets in there. So this is the timing chain tool. So these two dowels fit into a space on the sprocket, which I'll show you in a minute, and then that sits flat on the cylinder head like that. It holds it in place so you can undo the bolts holding in the cam. Okay, so those two little holes are that one there and this one here. We basically need to get it so those two line up with the tool like that, so we need to turn the engine over a little bit more. So to turn the engine over a little bit more so we can fit the timing chain tool into there, if we come down here to the crank pulley, put a 16mm socket on it and put your ratchet on tighten. Okay, I'm just going to turn around a touch, just like that, and we're going to try and fit that tool on. So again, we've got the two dowels. And as you can see, it's holding itself in place now. And if you look on the back side of the sprocket carefully, it's quite hard to pick up on camera, but you can see where the dowel comes through. So that's in place now. Okay, so what I've just done is taken out the camshaft sensor. There's a little 10mm bolt and you just pop it out. If you're not too sure how to do it, I'll leave a link in the iCard to a video where I showed you how to replace it, and that'll show you in a bit more detail how to take it out. But now we're going to pop the tool back in and start loosening this bolt here. Okay, so the timing tool is in place, so it's time to take this bolt out. So it's a 19mm bolt. Place that on there. What I'm going to do, because I don't trust it, I'm going to hold the tool. Bloody hell. I think I might need a hand for this one. Like that. Pull it towards us. You'll want 2 hands on it though.
Is it gonna like...
Got it? Okay, thank you. So now that bolt's a bit loose, do have to get a hand there because I've not got an engine mount on. This kit does come with some sort of temporary engine mount. I couldn't quite figure out how to put it on properly. I think I might have actually needed to take this little bit off here, but either way, we've got it off now. So there we have it, that's the camshaft bolt out. So now I'm going to get some pen or something and mark the sprocket and the chain just so we don't lose anything. So I don't know how well the camera will pick this up, but there's a tiny little arrow here, and what I've done is I've just coloured in the link with a permanent marker that sort of corresponds to, just so we can make sure that the chain gets back on the same part of the sprocket when we put the chain back on, otherwise the engine will be out of time and that's bad. Okay, next I've got some wire and we're going to tie the timing chain up and out of the way. So at the top of the bonnet is this little catch where the bonnet stays into. So I'm going to thread the wire up through that, just like so, and then we're going to make sure the permanent marker's on it. Just wiggle the sprocket off, just like so. And I'm going to remove the sprocket. Be very careful not to drop the chain. I'm going to grab that. Just like this. Don't really want it to rub on the Tipex one, for obvious reasons, or for the pen one. When you mark it, I'd use something a bit better than a black permanent marker. Something like a white Tipex or something like that. Or a paint pen of some sorts. But that's tied up and out of the way now. And there's the cam sprocket. That's the arrow I was talking about earlier. So that's what we've got to line that coloured link back up with. So next we've got to take these bolts out. These are for the lifters, so we've got to take them out. They look like 13s, we're going to check that. Silly assumption from me, of course they're 10mm. Just going to break these off in a outwards in pattern. Now I'm going to finish on loosening these bolts. So now all these 5 bolts are loose. Show how to pick this rocker arm up, just like so, and there you have it. That's your intake rocker arm. So I'm going to put them down carefully on the side now. Now let's loosen off the rest of the exhaust ones. Now this is your exhaust rocker arms, so same deal. Once it's all loose, pull up, and there you have it. Now you will notice with these rocker arms compared to the intake ones, these are the sort of like 4 sets of 2, whereas the other one had 8 sets of 1, if you get what I mean. So that should help you differentiate them when you're putting it back in. So next we've got to take these little caps off, and they should just pull up. But it's very important you remember the order these come in. So it does have the number written on them, so if you do get them mixed up, you can figure it out again, but just try and keep them in the right order. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now it's finally time to remove the camshaft. So to do that, just lift up evenly on both sides and take it out. And there we have the R53's camshaft. So taking its place, we have a Newman PH2 camshaft. So I'm just going to drop this in. I say drop, carefully place it in. Only going one way obviously. And you do need to dent the spark plug tubes a tiny bit with these, just because the clearance is very, very tight. So I'd rather be safe than sorry. So we're going to do that. But yeah, we're only sort of talking a millimetre or so. So I'm going to lube up where the cam sits and get it installed after, of course, we dented the spark plug tubes. So I bought the cam on eBay. It came, my fault, it said no returns, but it came and it's completely ruined, so it's not good enough to use in the car. My original plan was to put this cam in, 550cc injectors and remap, but I'm gonna have to buy a new cam. I got really stung on eBay. eBay couldn't help, which is fine, no problem. It's just a little bit annoying that people like that still exist, and especially within the car community, but hey ho, that's that. So I'm just finishing up editing the video, and currently it's about 13.5 minutes long. I like to try and keep my video lengths down around the 15-minute mark. So I'm going to split this video into 2 parts. I don't like doing the whole 2-part thing, but I'm going to do it with this one because I feel like the content in them is useful and valuable. So I don't want people to miss out on the last 15 minutes or whatever, which could be the best 15 minutes and the most important 15 minutes. So with that being said, I'm going to finish the video up here. Sorry about the bit of somber ending. Obviously I was a little bit down and upset about the camshaft. Obviously I'm just putting the original one back in now, and when I can afford to put the Newman cam in, I will of course do it. At the same time I will get a tune and the injectors, which was obviously the original plan, but not everything goes to plan, and this is one of those instances. Big shout out to Owen and Chelsea who've kept me on track whilst we've been sorting out the Mini. As of today it's actually pretty close, we're just waiting on the last few bits. Owen's been a great help this weekend. Obviously you'll see those videos in time. Obviously this video was filmed before I serviced the supercharger and stuff like that, so sorry about it's a bit jumbled around, but with the way the video was filmed and the whole production timeline and stuff like that, it was only possible to release it after the other videos were filmed. But obviously I'm sure you can understand the content's still the same. So as always, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure you hit the thumbs up button, hit the subscribe button, and of course you'll see some more awesome videos from me soon. Thank you so much for the support recently. It really does help and spurs me on to create more videos. I post a video every Wednesday at 6:30 PM Greenwich Mean Time, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed this one. Make sure you stay tuned for some more, and I'll see you in the next one.